Let's go.
Yo, 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 what's poppin'? How you guys doing?
Great.
Oh, me? Oh, I'm doing
Saturday.
good.
Welcome everyone. We got an exciting day for you guys. Today is like our preview day. I hope I'm saying that correctly. We have a ton of open house. We have a ton of potential students here to check out Make School. I hope you guys enjoy today. And then we have two of our very special guests today. Ladies first, I'm gonna go with Aaliyah. Aaliyah's a senior. Yay.
Yes.
And then we got our main man, Brian. Brian, I'm excited. It's my first time actually getting a chance to talk to you. I'm excited to hear about your story and learn more about you. How you guys doing today?
Bro, it's excited to chop it up. I'm doing good. Thanks for coming and talking and interviewing us. That's very exciting.
I appreciate it. It's honestly an honor. It's an honor. It's my pleasure. So real quick, I'm currently calling you guys from Egypt, across the other side of the world. So just want to check in with you guys and see where you guys are currently based out of. Ali, are you currently located in the Bay Area?
I'm not anymore. I miss the Bay Area. I daydream about it now and again. But I'm in Arizona right now, which is nice because I really don't like the cold, and it's been consistently in the low 80s. So Ooh. I'm enjoying it, but it's great. By the end of the month, we'll be in the hundreds, and then we'll be there for another 5 months. I'm just preparing myself.
What are you doing in Arizona? What made you go out there?
Well, I lived here for a couple years, 6 years before, for school, for just living, and then working at a tech company. Then I left that company to go to Make School. And now that we're remote, I figure, the world is still going to move forward in some side of way. So I went back to Arizona, got my job back at that company, and doing Make School remotely and just chopping it up.
That's awesome. I know you're working at IBM. Shout out to Aaliyah for killing it.
Yeah, that's sick.
I would love to talk to you more about that later in the stream, about how that's going and your experience working there. Brian, what about you? Where are you currently based out of?
I wish I was in Arizona. If it's 80 degrees. I'm in New Jersey, and it's I don't know, it's inching out. It feels like it's 34 or something. And I don't know, it feels colder though. But yeah, I'm in New Jersey, right near Atlantic City.
Is it snowing?
No, it's not snowing. It's supposed to warm up next week. It's supposed to get into the 60s. And then I think I don't know, March is so tricky because you never know with March if it's going to be actually spring or if it's going to be freezing again. I don't know.
March Groundhog Day, is that when that happens this month?
Yeah.
I thought it did happen, didn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Happens? Don't they decide if it's gonna spring is gonna come early or late this year?
Puxatawny Phil. Yeah, Puxatawny Phil has to tell us. I don't know if we've heard anything from Puxatawny Phil.
Keep my ears open.
Yeah. If you hear anything, let me know.
Well, I'm always excited for March. A personal little plug. March is my birthday. March 25th. Shout out to your boy. Your boy's excited to turn 24.
Aries? Are you an Aries?
Yeah, I'm an Aries. Yeah.
Word.
I'm a bold Aries. I love to wear it proudly.
Nice. Yeah, me too.
Wait, you're also an Aries?
Yeah, April 10. Let's go.
Oh, my man.
Dude, we can have the same birthday party.
I knew me and you had a lot of
similar.
Yeah, dude. I know. Maybe I'm going out to SF for my birthday, and then we'll have a huge party.
I'll be back actually in the end of March, so that is something that we can definitely do. We'd love to all meet up with you guys in person.
We'll wear masks and stay 6 feet apart, of course.
You can go get me a ticket real quick then.
So I want to hear more about your guys' background before coming to Make School. I know me personally, I went to community college right after high school. I wasn't a big fan of coding, but once I got to Make School, I honestly was man, this is this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. This is what I think all my peers should be doing. Would love to hear about your guys' story and learn a little bit more about you. Leah, would you like to go first?
Or I don't know how in depth you want me to get with my story, where you want to start everything. It's a long story. I'm old.
Well, I think what is like
you want my tech story or my life story?
Went to?
No.
What college did you go to before make school?
So I grew up in Atlanta. I moved out here for a school called University of Advancing Technology, UAT. No one knows of it. I barely knew of it.
Oh, and, UAT, yeah, I know
they're
UAT.
They're gonna know because of you,
right.
Yeah.
I want royalties. I want 2%.
We'll give you that done.
Right. So so I went there, and it was probably this was another small private tech school. And I studied robotics there, robotic engineering. I ended up getting my associates in robotics, and it was cool. It's just interesting because back then, the robotics program was like super small. There were maybe like 8 of us total, and we were called the unicorns because there was like none of us around. But most of the people there were more hardcore coders, either computer science or gaming or something like that. And it always was like, I could never be that person who just sits at a computer and types code all day just to get more code out. Like, I want to code and build something physical as a result. So then, like years later, you just like got out of school, lived life a bit, and then I ended up, you get to a point where you like stagnate a little bit, where it's just like you get caught up in the day-to-day of just life. And I was like, nah, I need to get some goals. So I ended up applying to and getting hired at Intel. And I was just like an entry-level tech, but like start off small.
Can I stop you? Can I stop you right there real quick?
Yes, stop me right there.
Can you let us know a little bit more about applying to IBM? And you said called getting, what was the program called?
So the company is actually Intel.
Oh, Intel. Sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't so much like a program. I just was like, I know a lot of people try to go in starting out as interns. But me personally, I was like, no, if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna go for the job because I want the dollars. And also, I feel like if you're an intern, there's certain confines. So I wanted the job, so I wasn't as confined. So I just went online and found a job posting, and I looked at it, and I was like, I technically don't qualify for this job. They always ask for a bajillion and 12 things. But I was like, you know what? I think I'm about 50% there. I was like, I'm just gonna apply. And the worst thing they'll do is tell me no, so I might as well. And I showed up to the interview. I printed out a bunch of code. I don't know why, but I like printed it out on paper. And it was like, look at my code. And I didn't realize I was gonna be in front of HR, so she had no idea what this was. And I took a circuit board that I made and gave it to them. And they're like, we've never seen someone bring in a circuit, and right then they hired me. So,
wow,
That's awesome.
I'm a very aggressive interview.
Creative. Like, I like to call it creative. That was very creative of you.
But yeah, if I go into an interview now, I just take like my robots with me and my computer with me. And I'm like, look at this stuff I made. You should hire me. It works though.
And I know your robots are very cool. I know we're gonna get a little bit into this a little bit later, but I know your show is highly around like using technology with like robots, correct? Hello?
Sorry.
All good.
My audio freaked out for 1 second. You say that one more time?
I was saying that I know that the show that you host is based or heavily based around like all good. Maybe while you're resolving those technical issues, we'll go to my man Brian and learn a little bit more about his background.
My dog.
Yo, what's popping?
What's happening?
So tell me, what were you doing before Make School? And happy to help you narrow it down if you'd like.
No, I
Um,
mean, definitely not what Aaliyah was doing. I wasn't making robots. I had a few things going on. So I left high school maybe in like 2010. And all right, I wasn't going to say it, but I'll tell you and I'll tell the viewers on stream. Actually, I dropped out of high school. So it was like 2010 and I was like tired of high school and I wanted to like challenge myself more because I was just so bored in high school. So I dropped out of high school to go to community college a year early. However, the problem was when I went to community college, I brought with me the same mindset I had in high school. So when I got to class, I kind of had one objective, and that was to leave as soon as possible. So predictably, it didn't quite work out for me. So I left community college. I did a few things. I like joined the army. I was in a band for like 5 years. I was in movies, politics. I tried a bunch of different things, but I always wanted to learn how to code. I always wanted to like learn how to make stuff with code. Because in my mind, there's only 3 ways you can make something. You can either like physically construct it, like construction or something. And I don't know, I've done enough manual labor for one lifetime, I feel like. So I'm done with manual labor. So I didn't want to do that. And then you can make stuff with art, like painting or like music or something. But again, I tried that too. And well, what's left? Well, there's code. I can make things in a digital space and maybe that will work. And so now I've come to make school. You know, it sort of took the scenic route here. But no, since I've been here, it's been fantastic. I like coding. I think it's great.
Sorry for that awkward pause for our viewers, but we have our amazing behind the scenes Jordan in our ear. And I'm just hearing now that Brian has this amazing tech topical song for us. Brian, can you do us honors?
Yeah, all right. So a little bit of background. So first of all, when we came up with the show for Tech Topical, Tech's Best Talking Show, which is going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific time tonight,
Yo, keep
talking
plugging,
about graph theory. Yeah. Keep make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do it now. And then, so we needed a theme song, so I made the theme song, and I like the way the Tech Topical sounds. I like the alliteration to it, or assonance, whatever it is. I always forget the term, but it's like Tech Topical, Tech's Best Talking Show. Tech Topical, tell me what's the topic, yo. And then it keeps going and going, and then there's a little guitar, and then we're rocking out. So if you want to hear the whole thing, you'll have to hear it tonight. That's all I can say about that. Yeah,
I love that. I will say when I was starting my show, I had a hard time like picking a name, and I was so jealous of Tech Topical because I like love that name, and I was like, man, I'm so jealous of Brian for having it.
Yeah, that was Jordan's idea. I didn't even come up with the name. I came into it, and Jordan was like, "Do you want to run Tech Topical?" I was like,
"It's a legacy."
Sure.
Jordan's a beast. Jordan's a beast.
Freaking beast.
So back to Leah. Sorry, Brian. Thank you for giving us your background. I really actually appreciate that you did mention, you know, I guess your journey. Just because I feel like it's like, you know, when you join coding or when you start coding, I feel like there's like a switch that gets like flicked. You know what I mean? And you just like realize, or you look at back at like how you processed your education or how you went through your education, and then you start to like, I don't know, appreciate like coding and how we learn coding, how we apply coding to our lives.
Yeah, that's
so I definitely feel you on that one.
No, that's a good perspective. I hadn't thought of it until you said that. Yeah, no, that's true. I would agree with that totally.
Oh yeah. Sweet. And yeah, going back to Aaliyah, Brian kind of mentioned his show that he runs, and I want to talk to Brian more about that. But Aaliyah, you are currently hosting one of our Twitch channels or streams. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, so my stream is called Eve, which stands for Electric Vision Entertainment. It's all about tech, thoughts, and thick hair. That's my tagline. And basically, mine is, you know, it's more of an electronics show rather than coding or purely about like the ideas of technology. We kind of started off a little more like, let's talk about code, let's talk about portfolios and space and like, different things, trying out different models. But I said, I have a background in robotics. So I was like, I want to do, coming to make school and doing like our data science concentration so I could learn machine learning and AI. So I can eventually program that into the robots. That's the goal, rather than to become like a pure data scientist. And so on the show, we get more into the robots. We'll build robots on their different circuits and such, and we'll go switch to how to code it. So that's how we bring the code into the show. But we do it, same time. We're doing it today, like right after this open house at 2:00 specific, because we're doing my show. So we're going to be doing like coding and schematics and more like really cool stuff with that. So that's my show, to learn how to build robots and code them up.
Nice. That's awesome. They always say that robots one day are going to take over the world. So if you know how to control them, make them, use them, you got to step up on us. Real quick, what is the show today about 2:00 about?
So today we're building this Simon game. We were going to do it last week, but we only have so much time. Building circuits takes a while. So this one, there's this game called Simon. I'm sure we've all played it. It's like a circle.
Simon Says?
Not Simon Says, but it's more like, it's like a little
Pop
circle. Almost. It's a circle and it'll light up like red, yellow, green, blue. Light up red and you hit the red, and then you go like red, yellow, and you click red, yellow. And it's just basically that memory game to see like how many things can you memorize in a sequence. We're gonna make that on the show. So we're gonna do it with like some LEDs and some buttons and some like resistors and Arduino, and then I'm gonna pull up a schematic and give like a basic, really like super high level explanation of like how to build a circuit diagram for this, so we can know how to read it for future shows. So there's a lot of stuff jam packed in there today. So definitely join.
That's awesome. That's awesome. For all our viewers, please drop down and join us at 2 to learn more about what Leah's building and build Simon with her.
Yes, build Simon.
Yeah. Real quick, I got an Arduino. What are the the top 3 best easy things I can use my Arduino for?
Some of the top ones I see are like alarm systems. So you could get it and hook it up to like I was showing on the show the other day, like an ultrasonic sensor, where you can do like an infrared or like proximity. There's a lot of them. And hook that up to it and then put like a little light LED. And it's you set it up like here, and then if anyone crosses, then it'll like, you turn the light on or have a buzzer go off. So there's that. There's watering systems that people use a lot. I'm probably going to build one myself because my plants need help. So you can hook it up and just have it like I believe it's a humidity detector, put it in the plant, set up some other stuff, and like water pumps. You can have it automatically water your plants. And then the other simple one that people do a lot is like LED screens type of things, where it's like, I just put a LED strip, and I've seen people connect it to sound frequencies. So they'll put a speaker or like a mic on it. And so it'll hear your music and it'll change like the LED strip colors and patterns based off of what it hears. So those are some fun ones. We might do some of them on the show. If I can get a oscilloscope, we're going to do the LED one for sure.
I'll definitely have to check out that video when you do it.
Yes, I'll let you know. I'll keep you up to date every Saturday.
Sweet. Thank you, Leah. My man Brian, tell me about Tech Topical. What's going on?
All right, so the show in general is about just general tech topics in the world. And, we'll do some things that are topical, some things in the news. But one of the reasons I really like Tech Topical is because I feel like I can get really deep, as deep as I really want to go when it comes to the technology or the nuances there. And I can really explore some of these issues. And today is going to be one of the more technical topics in a while on Tech Topical. And that is, we're talking about graph theory, because we had a student here, good friend of mine, Sid, who wrote an article about graph theory, and it's gone a little bit viral. I mean, as viral an article about graph theory could go. So we're going to be exploring that. And to be honest with you, I've heard of graph theory, like we touched upon it like the last day of CS class. And I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't catch much of it because we had 4 different finals coming our way. But it was interesting to learn about. And so I'm hoping that tonight I can supplant my knowledge with what I missed in class that day, because, and I think that's really one of the great things about Make School, just while I'm over here, let me talk about it, is there's so many people who have so many different interests in so many different things, like Aaliyah with robots, and with the graph theory. I make music. It's not that technical, but it's a really interesting community of people who everyone seems to have like their own like side hustle thing going on. It's really fascinating to learn like what everyone's doing and how they're accomplishing it. And I don't know, I learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot from the instructors, but I almost feel like I'm learning more from students. Maybe not more code, maybe more code actually, because I get so much help all the time. But yeah, no, it's a really interesting community, and I think that's what Tech Topical allows me to show is our community, because we have a lot of students come on the show, and we have so many different interesting people come on with different interesting things that they're doing. But I would say that's the core of Tech Topical, exploring tech topics and letting people show what it is they know.
That's you touched on something that I think is like very powerful. When I like first came to Make School, you kind of like pick up on that, like I guess that entrepreneurship like vibe, or that like go get it mentality. And it was very intimidating at first, because like there's a very like diverse, we are a very like diverse like community, and we do have like a lot of people who are doing various things and are very talented in it. But it's like what I've been like, I guess, realizing these past few months, especially because of Corona, because of us being remote, I do really miss like that in person like
I
vibe,
know.
because I really do get to connect with all our peers in our community, and
I
it's
know.
such like an uplifting and like energetic, and like I don't know, I feel like my train or my progress has been like on a decline, because I don't have like that community behind me. So I'm
For
glad that we
sure.
still have Tech Topical to still be able to connect with our peers and see what they're up to, and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something. It's something. I'm happy you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing it.
What was
Yeah.
one of your favorite shows?
Oh, favorite
And
shows.
I
I
guess
don't know.
this is the question to both of you, like you too, Aaliyah.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I feel like every show's a T-boy. I feel like every show's the best one yet. I don't know. I really liked, I like, so when I had my friend come on from Stockton University, I really enjoyed that. I don't know. It's so hard to pick. I like so much of them. Sometimes we'll have our producer Jordan come on. That's always a fun time. And that, I don't know. I could, honestly, if you made me pick a favorite, I don't know. Gun to my head, you made me pick a favorite. You'd have to pull the trigger. I don't know. I couldn't pick. There's just so many.
It's all good. It just means that we got to clock in every time you're streaming, my man.
I'm telling you, everyone, best one yet.
Aaliyah,
um,
is there a show that you'd like to plug?
let's see, which show would I plug? Because there's a couple. All of them, all of them didn't hit the same way, in my opinion. I think I definitely would say the Time and Space one was one of my favorites, just because I really love like super nerdy stuff. So I just talked for like an hour about what time is and what space is and what the cool infographics. So it's just a fun, like chill one to play in the background, while you're doing homework or something. But probably it was the first electronic show I think we did a couple weeks ago would probably be my favorite. And it was just because, all the shows up to that point were more purely coding, or they were more theoretical, or they were like personal development. And those are fun too. But like my real passion is working with code and robots together. So being able to like finally have the workstation set up, have the parts I needed, and just like sit there with people and talk about like this is an Arduino and this is what these different parts are, what they do. Let's code up a quick little circuit so we can see how like to turn it on and things like that. So it was just like I had like way much more fun uh, on that stream. And then I think people as a whole kind of enjoyed that stream a lot, and it really kind of set a different trajectory for where the show is going.
Yeah, I really like that episode too.
It's fun stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was so hyped that day. It's like, let's do it. Let's build stuff.
I know. I wish I could have followed along. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
I know. We're working on it. We got some stuff in the works for how we're gonna do that.
Let me know. I'll buy it because that would look really cool.
We got a couple of different plans in motion. We'll be working on that. Working on that development, that release schedule.
Can you speak more
onto the plan?
Can you speak more on like I guess more about like what are some of the goals that you have for the show, or like as a viewer, or like what is your goal or your intent for your viewer? Like, what would you like them to take away from it?
Well, for one, obviously, I want them to like be as passionate about it as I want them to learn different things. I know a lot of people, especially since the show, have reached out and saying like they've always wanted to learn robotics, but they just haven't had the time or didn't know how. So hopefully this will like help breach that. In terms of like plans for what I want to do, there will be many projects. Like there's some shows that are more of teaching, like learning the schematics, learning how to solder, stuff like that. Then there's more projects where it's like, there's a robot I'm working on now that we may try to finish. There's one I want to order, this like giant spider kit that I want to get. It's terrifying, but it's super cool. Yeah, he's a little scary when you look at him, but he's like super cool. And then
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, you'll see it soon. If I get a 3D printer, then we'll like learn how to use that. And then there's this arm that I want to build that mimics your hand, and so it'll mimic it. But in terms of like for the viewer, what they could do, like you said, you want to follow along. There's like two plans, which one of them is to find like a software online that allows you to build it that way. So you don't have to like spend all of your money on parts. But as well as I plan to, hopefully this week, I'll have everything set up to where there are spaces online that are kind of like social medias, but for makers. And you can go and upload your projects and put all the parts and the steps and videos. So if I get that all set up, then I can, just share that out to people, beginning a show, end a show, and then you can have all the parts needed or different sorts of things. So there's a couple different ideas floating about how we want to move it forward to make it a bit more interactive for people at home to actually participate rather than only to watch.
As if you're a viewer out there, I highly recommend, subscribing, following us along. It sounds like Aaliyah is going to be working on some very dope stuff with us. The hand mimicking one, I'm just super excited for myself.
Yeah, that one's going to be super fun. Just like you move your hand and then the robot moves his hand. That one's cool. And then I said that spider, he has like obstacle avoidance sensor, ultrasonic sensors, but he also has cameras. So you can just like have him walk around and watch what he's watching. I was like, he's going to be my security spider on my porch and just monitor my front door. No one's going to come if they see like this giant robot spider walk around on your porch. They're just going to leave because I will just leave.
True.
So some fun stuff.
We had the voice talking in our head again.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
We're working on it.
One last question I have for you guys. And sorry, Brian, but I currently run my own show, the Yo-Yo's Coding Club, or Yo-Yo's Code Club. And I would love to know, because I struggle with this myself personally. I get like super nervous before a show. I get like very intimidated, or I guess like it's very hard for me to like maybe narrow down a topic. And I really feel that like imposter syndrome, in like full effect. So I guess like what are some tips and tricks that you guys got for me to maybe include into my show?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. I don't know. I think one thing that really has changed my mindset on this idea of imposter syndrome is that especially when I was making YouTube videos back in the day. They didn't do very well, but they relatively, like, compared to what I've done, like, they got a few thousand views and stuff like that. And the more I've studied this, the more I realized is you're more likely to be underselling than yourself than overselling yourself, especially when you're doing something really hard like coding or something really technical where things are really hard and everyone seems to know more than you do. It is very likely that you're underselling what exactly you know, because things that may seem obvious to you, this is new information for someone out there, 100%. And I think that realizing that and then putting that out there and then seeing people normally have a pretty good reaction to someone who's just trying to get themselves out there, who's trying to like educate the world some. And I think you look at the most popular channels, you look at the most popular popularizers, they're not talking about the hardest concepts in the world. They're just talking about what it is that they know and trying to make that as relatable as possible. So I think that's really the challenge, is how can I make this more relatable, not how can I know so much about this that when I talk about it, not even the world's greatest expert could call me dumb. You know, it's one of I think that's really the key thinking around it. At least that's how I've been thinking about it.
I think for me, it's I think it's more being focused on, it's a passion for me and it's not about other people at the end of the day. Like, I mean, it is, because I'm trying to educate people. I want them to like have fun and everything. But I think what was making me nervous in the beginning was focusing too much on making it perfect and trying to please other people. And now that, especially doing more electronics where I'm like really just having fun, it's like, yeah, I know there's a camera on me, but I'm really not paying attention to it. If you watch my show, sometimes I'm like forgetting I'm on camera, just mumbling about tech, because it's like I'm just trying to have fun myself. And you know, next thing I know, like the hour is gone and I'm like, oh my God. And that's how I come up with other ideas too. So while I'm doing something on here, it'll like, oh man, if I talk about this, we're gonna be here for like 2 more hours. Let me just remind myself later to read out another show. And just thinking about what type of things do I like? What type of things would I wanna learn? You know, stuff like that. It's how I get the show ideas, and then just making sure to focus on the passion behind it. And you know, it's just having fun and not worrying about like other people and what their reaction is and who's watching and stuff. Just go on and like, just let it out, have fun. But speaking of your show, you didn't tell us much about what your show is, what you do. Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, what do you
do? Well, it's very hard to say like what I do, but I guess I can tell you like what my goal is. I have a very similar goal. I want to like show people what coding and like what building code is all about. My past few episodes have been like kind of like introductions to some technologies like Django. We did an episode on like Bootstrap, WebSockets, things like that. But honestly, like I guess, you know, from my experience, like going through make school, imposter syndrome is like a real thing, and coding is honestly not this abstract concept that only very few can obtain or reach or understand. I think like coding and technology is applicable to anyone. We use it in our everyday lives. You know, we all depend it in some sort of like way, fashion, or form. You know, and I think as it's becoming a more crucial part of our lives, it's very important for us to like educate ourselves and, you know, how we use it, how it's built, and just understand more about it. So I guess that's like one of my goals. My show is a little bit more on the technical side. We do go over like actual code. We do code at sometimes, and sometimes we're just talking about how technology's you know, impacting our lives. And yeah, we stream on Tuesdays on 2:00 Pacific Eastern time. So feel free to check us out. We would love to have you guys there.
I wish I could come on and hang out with you. I'm normally in class during that time. I want to come on.
For the both of you, I am, you know, we can talk to Jordan. I would love to maybe set something up where we have a stream that works along your guys' schedule. Because you guys are honestly very talented people, and I would love to have you guys on my show.
It would be
Well,
great
right?
honor and privilege.
We got spring break, we got intensives, we got other stuff going on at make school. So like that would be the optimal time because like we don't have classes technically right now. So hey.
Yeah, I'll definitely drop you guys maybe a Slack this week and try to set something up with you guys. I love it.
Love to be on. It'd be fun.
Let's go. It'd be sick.
Real quick before we end it, Brian, what time is your show and what's going on today?
Tech Topical is on tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. for you West Coasters. And today we're talking about graph theory. That's right, graph theory. Come by and talk to a viral media sensation, Sid Archidiakono, about her article in Graph Theory.
Dude, I love your voice, my man. I feel like I just like want to hear you like throughout my whole day, just narrating my day. I love it.
Right?
Yo, check out my man Brian at 7 tonight.
Yeah, come hang out. Appreciate that.
And Aaliyah, one more time, can you let us know what's going on today and what time is your show?
Yes, my show is today as well at 2 p.m. Pacific. So you got, what, 3 hours? 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours until we get started. So just go ahead and grab your popcorn. We're going to be live. We're going to build another circuit. I'm going to teach you how to make circuits so you can like, when you see stuff, those crazy things in movies, you can like actually read what's going on and then like make it yourself and build a time machine or something. But we are gonna start off simple. We're gonna make a Simon game, and then we're gonna test the limits of your memory and see what you remember from the last show. Bring it to this show and take it to the next one. So
I love it. I love it. Don't miss any of my Aaliyah's shows. Please check her out. I'm definitely excited about the robot arm one. I want to see like how that's like coded too. That's gonna be exciting to see.
It's gonna be fun. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of motors and sensors for the most part.
Yeah. And lastly, guys, for our viewers out there, all three of us are on Discord. The Make School community is also on Discord, and we have also a few other people over there as well. We are going to be dropping the link in the chat. Please do check it out. It will be an easy way for you to connect with one of us if you have a question. Please do so if you do have a question. We would love to hear from you. If you have some feedback, if you want to be in these videos, or if you have any recommendations of things you want to see Aaliyah build, Brian talk about, or I go over, please let us know. And lastly, Brian and Aaliyah, thank you so much. It was great to hear from you and hear more about you and your guys' story. And looking forward to see you guys streaming.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Yusuf.
It's love being on.
Thank you.
So
it's the voice in our head is talking. That's what's going on.
So just to let you guys know, we're going to be going on a quick break for about 15 minutes. You're going to be seeing our lovely Ducky on stream for the time being. And I believe I'll be on later with Jordan to see you guys one more time. And yeah, stay tuned.
Let's go. Ducky time. Yeah, you're going to be happy for Ducky
time. You have that wave?
Oh,
the wave?
The wave.
right. So, welcome